At the height of his popularity, this artist created his opus in 1971, Teaser and the Firecat, a multi-platinum album that helped define the singer-songwriter era of the early 70s. Has remained a timeless landmark in rock music history. Coming up, we celebrate the historic Teaser and the Firecat by Yusef Cat Stevens, and we unbox the must-have 50th Anniversary Super Deluxe Edition box set next on Professor of Rock. Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. You know, if you remember buying Circus, Cream, Rolling Stone when they actually covered music, you're going to dig this channel. Make sure to subscribe below right now and click the bell so you never miss out. Also, take a quick look at our offering on Patreon. That's below as well. We give you more content and it helps keep this channel going, daily channel, as does our merch. You can get a Professor of Rock shirt or a Vintage Years collection below. Let people know that you support Three Chords and the Truth. So Teaser and the Firecat is the 5th studio album from Yusef Cat Stevens and the biggest selling record of his career.
Oh, I'm being followed by a moonshadow.
Even before one removed the plastic to open the cover, Teaser and the Firecat was an exciting presentation, starting with the imaginative album cover art that was created by Yusef Cat Stevens himself. The album title later became the name of a children's book that was written and illustrated by Stevens. The story features the characters from the album cover Teaser, wearing a top hat on the left, and his pet Firecat alongside him on the right. They work together to put the moon back in its place after it falls from the sky. The book was actually published in 1972, but has been out of print since the mid-70s. Teaser and the Firecat put Cat Stevens really squarely in the spotlight as a superstar, and the singer-songwriter movement was happening right in the middle of it.
Morning has broken like
The album was loaded with everything that made Yusef Cat Stevens such an extraordinary artist. The first cut on Teaser and the Firecat is The Wind.
I listen to the wind of my soul.
A really sweet composition that masterfully demonstrates Yusef Cat's gift of intersecting spiritual experiences into his music.
Where I'll end up, well, I think only God really knows.
The track probes both spirituality and fate, with the wind symbolizing Yusef Cat's soul while searching for his identity.
I listen to my words, but they fall far below.
The Wind has found new prominence over a half century, with notable placement in Wes Anderson's critically acclaimed film Rushmore in 1998.
Possible candidates for Kite Flying Society.
It was also used in the Academy Award-winning film Almost Famous, directed by the great Cameron Crowe. That was in 2000.
I let my music take me where my heart wants to go.
Synced in the movie Sing in 2016 and then Gifted in 2017. The Wind caresses our hearts with a universal sense of hope, and it resonates even stronger today. Great song. Another wonderful album cut on Teaser and the Firecat is the cathartic introspection, Tuesday's Dead.
Tuesday's dead.
The song is a quest for truth and self-realization. Show me what I haven't seen to ease my mind, because I will learn to understand.
Ease my mind, because I will learn to understand.
If I have a helping hand, I wouldn't make another demand. All my life, where do you go when you don't want no one to know?
Whoa, whoa, where do you go when you don't want no one to know?
Great song, great album cut there. Morning Has Broken was one of 3 trademark hits for Yusef Cat Stevens on Teaser and the Firecat.
Morning has broken like the first.
It's Cat's interpretation of a Christian hymn that was first published in 1931 in the 2nd edition of Songs of Praise. The words were written by English author Eleanor Farjeon. The scenery that moved Farjeon in her hymn was an illustration of the beauty of the first day of spring in the village of Alfriston in East Sussex. It's a song that is sometimes sung in children's services and in funeral processions. Cat was going through a dry spell, and he began searching for inspiration to write new material. This is when he stumbled upon the hymn book at a bookstore in London. Now, during press interviews, Cat states that he found the hymn book with Morning Has Broken accidentally, actually.
Sunlit from heaven.
Maybe there was some divine intervention at work there. After all, the song is about showing respect and gratitude for God. Cat heard something universally significant in the language, and he brilliantly transported it into a contemporary pop standard. Now, when Cat found the book, he was instantly drawn to Morning Is Broken, and ideas began to flow about how he could turn the hymn into a track for his upcoming record. Cat wrote chords for Morning Is Broken and arranged the track, but when he sang the song as a hymn, it was only 45 seconds long. Teaser and Firecat producer Paul Samuel Smith told Cat that he needed to beef up the song before including it as a track on the album. It would have been a very short track. So he pushed Cat to make certain that the song was at least 3 minutes in length. Now, the finished version of the track actually clocked in at 3 minutes 15 seconds, and it was released as the third single for Teaser and the Firecat. The hymn was based on a melody called Bunasan, named for a small town in Scotland. That came before Farjon's hymn. It was originally written in Gaelic by Mary MacDonald before it was translated into English.
Mine is the sunlight.
Now, for children of Scotland, Morning Is Broken was a Christmas hymn. Hall of Fame musician Rick Wakeman actually played the piano section on Morning Is Broken, and he wrote the keyboard arrangement for the track. Rick Wakeman stated that Stevens' version of Morning Is Broken was a beautiful piece of music that brought people closer to religious truth.
Blackbird has spoken like the first.
Now, Wakeman joined the progressive rock group Yes shortly after working with Yusef Cat. As an integral member of Yes, Wakeman established himself as one of the all-time great keyboardists of the rock era.
Praise for the morning. Praise for.
Morning Is Broken climbed to number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. That was in 1972. It was also a top 10 single throughout Scandinavia and in the UK. The song was also a top 5-er in South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. Many of the most recognizable voices in popular music history have recorded versions of the song, inspired by Cat Stevens' adaptation. That lofty list includes Neil Diamond, Kenny Rogers, Aaron Neville, Judy Collins, and Art Garfunkel, just to name a few. The soulful supporting vocal on Morning Has Broken was performed by Linda Lewis, who was a highly sought-after session musician.
New fall, sunlit from heaven.
She also had hit singles of her own in Europe, one of them being her top 15 ditty Rock-a-Doodle-Doo. That was in 1973. Now, the moving string accentuation, that was arranged by British orchestra conductor Del Newman. Just beautiful.
Like the first morning.
The vulnerable treasure, How Can I Tell Her? That's another highlight on Teaser and Firecat. In this song, Cat strips himself of emotional cloaking.
I long to tell you that I'm always thinking of you.
Pouring out his soul with palpable exasperation and yearning. Whoever I'm with, I'm always talking to you. I'm always talking to you, and I'm sad that you can't hear. Sad that you can't hear.
Talking to you, and I'm sad that you can't hear.
Now, the lead single from Teaser and the Firecat was the top 40 hit, Moonshadow.
Oh, I'm being followed by a moonshadow, moonshadow.
The very mention of the word moonshadow paints a cool, mysterious image in the mind's eye. This is one of Cat's favorite songs from that part of his career because he began writing the song as a young boy while vacationing in Spain and experiencing something he had never really seen before. Yusef Cat was a kid from the West End of London, so the majesty of the night sky was mostly obstructed by the glare of city lights. It was during that memorable time in Spain that the young boy got a full spectrum view of the moon. Glowing off the edge of the water, he saw a shadow from the moonlight above.
Being followed by a moonshadow, moonshadow.
The exhilaration was joyously captured in Moonshadow. Moonshadow was a number 10 hit on the Billboard Easy Listening chart, later the Adult Contemporary chart, went to number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100, and went to number 22 in the UK. Now, the song has been covered by LaBelle, that was in 72, Mandy Moore did it in 2003, and Roger Whittaker remade the song to bolster his greatest hits album in 1989.
I'm being followed by a moonshadow, moonshadow.
An animated short featuring the song was part of the Fantastic Animation Festival feature film released in 1977.
Yes, I'm being followed by a moonshadow, moonshadow.
Now we get to Peace Train, my favorite Yusef Cat song. It was his first top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Peace Train was Cat's gentle anthem for unity. This is during an unsettling period of history where the entire world was concerned about the unrelenting Vietnam War. Yusef Cat expressed his feelings that peace would someday prevail.
Thinking about good things to come, and I believe it.
He sang about how the peace train runs along the edge of darkness, the darkness of hatred, that is.
Out on the edge of darkness, there rides a peace train.
There's a fervent hope in Peace Train that the will of the people will rise up and that the world can bypass the station of darkness forever.
Ride on the peace train.
Yusef Cat's use of a train as a metaphor was brilliant, displaying his belief that peace will triumph if people are united. When people travel by train, they travel together. And though there may be separate passenger cars, everyone is moving forward at the same pace and, of course, moving together. Now, the musical arrangement of Peace Train was Yusef Cat tapping into his Greek heritage from his father's side. He felt the music of the song was the kind that you would hear on a Greek island. During one of his live performances in the 70s, Yusef Cat introduced the song, revealing that he came up with the lyrics while actually riding on a train. He was thinking about Alfred Hitchcock, the master of film noir.
I was thinking of Alfred Hitchcock at the time, and his lovely chin.
Cat undoubtedly thought of Hitchcock because many of the plots of Hitchcock's films were, of course, set on a train. Peace Train whistled up the easy listening chart all the way to number 1. It went to number 2 in New Zealand. It went to number 3 in Australia and Canada. Of course, Natalie Merchant and 10,000 Maniacs did the song justice with their rendition of the song in 87.
On the edge of darkness, there rides a peace train.
It's also been covered by artists like Melanie, Sam Harris, Richie Havens, and 2 Hall of Fame country singers, Don Williams and the great Dolly Parton. Lots of pop culture placement of this amazing song as well. Featured in the films The War, Remember the Titans, Ordinary Magic, We Are Marshall, and Jobs. Richie Havens' version, that was included in the soundtrack of the Wonder Years TV series, one of my favorites.
I've been happy lately, thinking about good things to come.
Teaser and the Firecat was one of the definitive collections of the singer-songwriter culture of the early 70s. The music really struck a chord with audiences around the world, especially in America, where it rose to number 2 on the Billboard 200 album chart. Sold more than 3 million units. It struck gold in the UK, also reached number 2 in Yusef Cat's homeland. It was a platinum album in Germany and Switzerland, and it topped the LP chart in Australia. Bestowed with the Album of the Year honor at the King of Pop Awards in 1972. 50 years after its release in 1971, Teaser and the Firecat has been given optimum treatment in a brand new Super Deluxe Edition set. This is the most in-depth and definitive version of the album really possible. Presented in a remastering of Yusef's iconic original artwork, this special presentation it includes 41 previously unreleased audio tracks and 21 live video performances on disc for the very first time, amongst an entire CD and LP of studio demos and alternate mixes a stunning 44-page, 12-inch softcover replica of the original teaser in the Firecat book that was handwritten and illustrated by Yusuf in '72. It's very cool. The book features text in 10 languages and a 108-page hardcover 12-inch essay book accompanied with a host of other rarities, over 4 CDs, a Blu-ray, 2 LPs, and a 7-inch vinyl. As in the past, Universal has done a stellar job with the production of this box set, truly honoring one of the greatest albums of the singer-songwriter movement. It's just lavish. It's definitive, like I said, and you can get a copy at the link below. Teaser in the Firecat was a historic release in one of popular music's finest years, 1971. It's a reminder that great music not only connects us all as a human family, but it can give wings to our very souls.
Thank you.
Make sure to leave us a comment about this sensational album. What are your favorite tracks? What are your memories tied to those, to Yusef Cat Stevens? Let us know in the comments. And make sure to check out the link to the 50th anniversary set in the description. You won't regret it. Make sure to subscribe below as well if you like our content. Hit us up on Patreon. It's all about keeping the music alive. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends.